Hello, Hamilton. It's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. I am your host of Just Ask Bob Live, Bob Assadourian. We proudly bring you Season 7 with a twist, a social distancing twist, that is. A lot has changed. We live in different times. In the past, Cable 14 would visit us, and we have missed them this season. So what we're doing this season, as you can see, I'm alone in the studio. We're not going to have any guests. It's just going to be Bob. First half of the episode will be pre-recorded renovation from one of my Hamilton real job sites. Now, the key is pre-recorded. Again, we missed Cable 14. I'm a contractor by trade. I'll do my best to record the best of these renovations in order to continually answer your home improvement questions. So we bring this footage to Cable 14, and we thank them for their phenomenal editing work. Second part of the program, as you can see, is live. We will do our best to answer your questions, hopefully based on the footage that you've watched from the emailer's question. Now, other than that, we welcome all types of questions, indoor, outdoor, home improvement questions. And you know Bob, and you can trust Bob with honesty. I'm only giving you an answer if I have it. If I need to research your question, or if I need to have more time on it, you can contact me. My contact information will always be on the screen at the end of the program, and then we can follow up and I can give you a more in-depth answer. Now, as we kick it off, I also have some very, very special thank yous. Number one, thank you to Bill Custers of Cable 14, Garth Burns of Cable 14, Harmony McKenzie of Cable 14, and also, equally as important, somebody who is no longer with Cable 14, Linda Rourke. A wonderful woman, a great person, and I hope she's watching right now live. Linda Rourke gave me my break a little over a decade ago. Gave me my first break in community television, so thank you, and thank you very much. Concept and the goal. As a community producer, I do have a goal. I don't just throw all this together. Let me explain now. DIY, do it yourself, Hamilton. That's absolutely critical. The goal of this program is to empower you with the right tools, the right knowledge to tackle your own growing to-do list at home. Now, safely. So you have to work safe. If you have to inspect your roof, I hope and pray for you that it's a low slope roof and you have to be comfortable enough to climb the ladder. So that's very important. Do it yourself. Now, the flip side of that, if for whatever reason you don't want to get up and off the couch, or you don't want to tackle the project yourself, that's fine. Bob understands. Bob's very forgiving. In that case, you're going to contact a contractor. Now, this is very important. I've been calling out Hamilton contractors for over 1 decade on this very station. And you all know Bob's catchphrase, avoid at all costs the crooked and overcharging contractor. That's the contractor that we all know. The grumpy contractor, you ask him one or two too many questions and he barks at you. The contractor that might be unlicensed with the city of Hamilton. The contractor that may not carry commercial liability insurance in the event he damages your home. The contractor that may not carry WSIB, Workplace Safety Insurance Board coverage. So at all costs, avoid the crooked and overcharging contractor. Our city of Hamilton, does have a license where they test, pre-vet, and screen these contractors. On the screen is an example of a license, my license. Very important, and this isn't about Bob. I don't care who you hire. Doesn't have to be me. I'm too busy most cases anyway. Make sure your contractor is licensed, and not only that, references matter. Now, forget about what you've been taught from your parents or from ages ago about getting 2 or 3 references. Any shrewd crook or phony can fraudulently submit you 2 or 3 references. Take it from Bob. Get at least 12 references. Call them all, check them all, and demand to see the license card. That's very important. So again, 2 goals for the production of every episode of this show. Either do it yourself, we'll demystify the process, or hire a contractor and make sure he or she is licensed. That's very, very important. And the premise, of course, for every single episode It begins with your question to Bob, either sent to this very station or sent to my office. Very important. Send us questions on anything from the foundation to the rooftop. I will do my best to answer every single question for you. Don't be shy. No marriage, no love, no dating questions. Keep it strictly to home rental. Now, speaking of questions, we have one that kicks off this show. Hello, Bob. My husband and I are arguing again and need your help on whether to lay new sod in our yard or spread grass seed. Just so you know, Bob, I have no patience, and my husband needs to get up and get off the couch. Marlene from Hamilton. Marlene, thank you. Thank you very much. And you are in luck, because we have been capturing our own real job site footage from Hamilton for quite some time now. So to give an example now, this is an older Hamilton. Wonderful homeowner, wonderful customer. In this particular situation, the backyard needed a complete makeover. Homeowner was going to be getting her first time puppy, so we did everything from the fencing to also installing a bottom rail so that the little guy can't get underneath or dig his way out. In this episode, we're going to empower you and we're going to demystify the process. So keep in mind now, because again, I'll be proud if you can do it yourself. Again, it's back to DIY. Now, there's many big box stores in Hamilton. You can rent a sod cutter. You can even rent a wheelbarrow. I mean, I hope you buy one, but believe it or not, you can rent a wheelbarrow for the weekend. Check with the stores in case I'm wrong. But this is a fun project. It needs a little bit of strength. You can get the kids involved. You can do this yourself, as long as you're willing to get up and get up off the couch. Now, like the viewer explained, there are only two choices. You can lay down grass seed, or you can cut that sod out and replace it. Now, the viewer didn't seem to have a lot of patience. If you're going to put down grass seed, you need patience, believe me. The better approach, at least I believe, is to put down the sod. So the footage is going to start rolling. Enjoy the show, but remember, get your questions ready. You can tweet Bob at Cable 14. You can call the show tonight live, and you can send us your email. All the information will be on screen. Get those questions together, Hamilton. Hello, Hamilton. Welcome to our job site, a familiar job site. We've been here past seasons working on the fencing. Today, we're going to be doing landscaping. I want to welcome my good friend, Angelo Yanata. Thank you so much, Angelo, for coming. Escarpment Landscaping Group. Angelo is a specialist, and he's going to kick us off today with 3 stages, essentially, of preparing this yard for new sod. Angelo, what would the first stage be of the work?
The first stage, what we do is we come into the property and we sod cutter and we strip the whole property and dispose of the grass. That's what our first stage is when it comes to this work here.
Now, Angelo, I get a lot of emails from homeowners. Again, people that want to save money. Sometimes they say, is that really necessary? Can we just roll the sod over the existing? What are your thoughts, perspective?
You can do that, but I think the proper way of doing it is stripping it, especially if it's, older grass, you got a lot of weeds coming up. That is the best thing to do, I believe, is just stripping it, coming in, leveling it, bringing soil in, and then laying in your new sod.
See, I respect that. Even in my own trade, we know there's a lot of ways to cut corners. At my own home, I may cut a corner or two, but on the job, you want to make sure everything's right.
Yes.
I mean, one thing might be weeds might grow through.
Yes, yeah, that's possible too, right? So again, that's a rule of thumb. We want to strip it. The first stage is come in, strip it, dispose of it, and then go into the second stage, right? Just adding soil, any imperfections, any low areas we fill in, and we bring in some topsoil. And then your third stage is getting the sod and laying it down.
On a job like this, roughly 1,000 square feet with 2 men, how long would you estimate something like this just to get the sod up? Just to get
it up and to the trailer and disposing of it is probably about half a day worth of work.
Okay. Well, you know my show is only 30 minutes, so we got to fly. I mean fly. Stay tuned, Hamilton. We're going to show off some nice machinery. Thanks again, Angelo.
Thank you, Bobby.
Happy to have
you
here.
Thank you for having me.
Angelo, what are you doing?
So what we're doing here is, I guess the machine can get the whole area, so you're going to be left with probably 12 inches of sod up against the fence. You don't want to be damaging the fence, so it all has to be done by hand. I just grab a spade here and just do one of these, so we're not damaging anything.
See, for the homeowners at home, I want them to appreciate when they get eventual estimates for this work, or if they want to DIY and do it themselves, it's not all done with machinery. There's going to be grunt work. You're going to have to get in and get dirty. When planning your sod installation, you have to think of outbuildings such as sheds. Sometimes it's not a good idea to roll the sod behind the shed. You won't be able to water it easily, and it might also be under shade, and you're just going to end up having problems. An alternative would be to use mulch or to use river rocks. We've got Frank here. He's going to show us how to put down the landscape fabric.
It's thick black fabric that's good to keep weeds out. So you're gonna rototill or turn up the soil, pull out all the weeds first, and then you're gonna put down this black paper.
Now, nothing's an absolute, nothing's a guarantee, but if you buy good quality landscape fabric, don't be cheap with it. Double up the roll. Should keep the weeds out for a long time.
You always want to make sure that you overlap it at least 6 inches to a foot. A foot's always better, so that when the weeds come up, they don't come up through and then back up through the other piece. And a nice sharp knife always helps with this.
Simple DIY project. Only tool required is a sharp utility knife.
And make sure you get up into the corners, up against the sides, nice and tight. That's always where the weeds want to come through.
Up next, we'll be installing the mulch. Another Just Ask Bob top pick, Scott's Naturescapes. Really good product. I've used it at my own home. Really nice mulch. We got Frank here again. He's going to take it away.
We're going to be spreading the mulch. I put my 2 layers of fabric down, overlapped very well. So now we're ready to go. Cut your bags up. I like to cut them like this so you still have a nice handle.
Frank knows all the tricks. Frank, who teaches you these tricks?
It's you, Bobby. Only the best. And you want to start from the back corner out, because you don't want to be stepping on this.
All employers watching, they'll understand that when the owner teaches the tricks, it's so the job can be done efficiently. And the company can make enough money to continue and thrive.
And as you're going, you want to level this out a little bit here, so you don't have to come back over it.
Let me get in there nice and close, Frank.
You can use your hand, you can use a nice little rake. This stuff's not going to hurt you too much.
See, the Scott's brand has a lot of, we shouldn't want to say chemicals, but I'm sure they're safe. It has good properties in it for color retention. That's what it is, high quality color retention. So when you buy it black, it stays black. If you buy the red, it stays red. If you buy the brown, it stays brown. Mind you, no matter what, you're still gonna have to mix it up and add a few bags each year. But this will keep the weeds out. This won't need watering. And it's in an area where I strongly advise the homeowner against putting the sod. Not that we're being cheap and saving a couple of rolls of product with the sod. I wanna make sure this job looks good for the long haul. Okay, Frank, you keep at it. We'll come back in a bit and show the reveal.
Absolutely.
And now the finished product. Nice and neat. We got about a half a foot of mulch here. Nearly a triple layer of landscape fabric. I don't think there'll be a problem with weeds here for at least a decade. Now, we left the landscape fabric hanging out. We're gonna fold that over the mulch to keep it from washing away, because we're not installing the sod today. Now, for the viewers at home, you've just enjoyed about 2 to 3 minutes of a time lapse. In reality, we've been breaking our backs here for about 6 hours. Literally about 6 hours getting to this point. We don't have a 6-hour show, so we time lapse it. That wasn't us really working that fast. Although Angelo, my friend here, is a lot faster than I am. Angelo, tell the viewers now, we're on stage 2.
So what we've done, first stage, we stripped the grass, we disposed of it. Now it's all leveling. Just bringing soil. You don't want any areas that are unlevel, any low spots. We want to get rid of any high spots we want to get rid of, right? So we bring in soil and we level it off, some nice topsoil, and then that's stage 2 for now.
Angelo, for the viewers, explain why is stage 2 important, and what may happen if no leveling was done?
Well, you don't want any ups and downs, right? And plus grading too is really important. You don't want to change, also if you come into a property, you don't want to change the grade of the property. You know what I mean? Like if it's just a little bit of imperfections, you fill it in with soil, right? So it is important to get it all level. You don't want to have any ups and downs because you're going to have that in your grass, right? So when you go to cut it, you're going to have some low areas and high areas.
And as far as keeping basements dry, I mean, this is as much as I know, at least from eavesdrop work or whatnot, you want your runoff or your grade to be away from the home.
Everything away from the home, yes, graded away from the home, not towards the home. That's the rule of thumb, right, when it comes to that. So always away from the home, so it doesn't, you don't have any water coming into your basement.
We continue on now. It's going to take a few hours at least, but we move quickly. Enjoy the show.
Watch, Bob.
Finally, step 3 of 3. Did you have to pick such a wet day, Angelo?
Yeah, it is overclouded today.
We're in the mud today. We're covered.
We're going to get it done.
And it's good for the grass. So, Angelo, is this as easy as it looks?
Yes, yeah.
Roll it out for the viewers. Let's see. Wow. Where's the mortar? Where's the thin set? A lot of advantages, when you compare to laying ceramic tile. You're certainly not going to have to worry about the joints popping or about cracking the flooring. So, Angelo, is it really all about the prep, like in my trade work, when I'm painting or when I'm laying flooring?
Yeah, it's like with anything, right? You want the surface to be prepped properly, right? Like as first step we did was stripping it, getting rid of
removing the existing, so we're not laying grass over grass.
And then like this, the most of the work is just getting it ready, bringing in soil, and getting it level. Because you want a level surface. If you don't have a level surface, you're going to have problems cutting the grass, or you're going to have ups and downs, right? So once this, that's all done, this should be, easy, right? It should go smoothly, the job.
Is it really that easy, just dropping it and laying it? What about the joints? How tight tell the viewers, Angelo, how tight should
you have to get them. You have to get them pretty tight, right? Because and then number one thing too is watering is really important, because if lack of water, you're going to start seeing where the joints are. You're going to start seeing them curling up.
So it could shrink back.
Yes, it shrinks, right? Because lack of water. So if you start seeing that, that's lack of water, right? So this time of year is the best time for sod. Early spring or late fall, because we get a lot of rain, right? So
2 best times of the year.
Yeah. So just make sure that the grass is buttered up right up against the other roll of sod.
So it's a little like going into an attic. You don't want to do it on the hottest day of the summer.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, dead of summer, it's not worth doing it, right? So again, ideally early spring or late fall for sod.
Well, we've got our rain suits ready just in case. We got a couple of men here, over 1,000 square feet. We're gonna start the fly. Let's get it going.
And green side up.
Always.
Okay, Bobby, show us how you do it.
All right, for those of you at home, I am a professional. Pay close attention. You want to really push in, butt the joints.
Huh, Bobby, I think you got the... Bob, what are you doing? That's backwards.
No way.
Come on. No, Bob, okay, you gotta get out of here. You can't do this.
I'm done. So Angelo, for these cuts, what's the tool of the trade?
All you need is a utility knife here, OFA. This is what we use.
Nice.
Cutting these areas.
Could be worse.
So you just place that there like that. Come across.
Oh, you place it over and then score through.
Yes.
How do your hands feel after a day of slapping that down?
They feel fine. But that's just the way how we do it. There you go, so you can't see.
Very nice, very nice.
Come on!
All right, Frank's gonna demonstrate rolling out a piece of the sod. Take it away, Frank.
When you roll these out, you gotta make sure you curl the edges a little bit. Because they're curled up from when they're rolled. You curl them back over, you pull it up nice and tight to the other piece, you want to tap it all down. You want to make sure you don't see that line. You'll see a little bit of it, but it'll go away in time. Make sure your sod is in line with the other row. Make sure both sides are all together nicely. Look at that, seamless.
Beautiful.
When should the first cut be?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
You can even go 3.
And that's a wrap, folks. From Just Ask Bob to you, I can't stress this enough. Water, water, and water. Always the responsibility of the homeowner after your contractor's left. Nice, beautiful job. Always remember 3 stages. Grab a sod cutter, remove the grass, add high quality topsoil and earth to your grading, and your final stage is to install the grass. I hope you enjoyed our pre-recorded reno footage. Now you see that wasn't too difficult. A family, a couple of your children, rent a wheelbarrow, rent a bin for disposal. You can do it yourself, trust me. Now, if we take a moment to also discuss that, there's a huge savings in doing this work yourself. Again, if you can't do it, you hire out. But if you do the work yourself, you get bragging rights. Bragging rights belong to nobody else but you, the homeowner. Now, don't forget, this show is interactive. As I've always said, brand new concept hosted by a familiar old face, and that's me. So don't forget, the information should be on your screen. You can contact us at 905-645-3232. We want your calls, Hamilton. Or send us your emails, askbob@cable14.com, or you can reach us on Twitter. You can tweet Bob at Just Ask Bob. Your questions will create every single episode. After this one, we have 9 more 1-hour shows. Every show will start kicking up the dust with the power tools. Every show begins with a real Hamilton home renovation, and then we're live in studio while I take your calls. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break.
Finally, after all this time, Bob from Triple R has finally got my sod here. But of course, Bob had to get an envelope from Assadourian Landscaping to do it properly. So what we have here is my sod that is going to go over all this dirt that we saw last year, and it wasn't done. But since Bob didn't know, he had to get an envelope to know that the green side goes up. Thank you.
Unique times call for unique conversations. As Hamilton moves forward, we'll be taking a look at how local business, entrepreneurs, and various industries rebound from COVID-19. So in collaboration with the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, Cable 14 will be bringing the conversations to you. Tune in to Cable 14 and cable14now.com as we bring you this new series, Roadmap to Recovery. Truly local television.
1, 2. Good rhythm back and forth. Hey Taylor, I think you might need this.
Thanks.
Matters rebound. Scores! Taylor Hall.
You can visit our website at cable14.com. Like us on Facebook at Cable14 Hamilton and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cable14. Missed an episode? Don't worry. You can visit past episodes of your favorite Cable 14 programs on demand at cable14now.com. Programs like Hamilton Eats, City Matters, or local sports coverage. Visit today and browse through all the available titles. Cable 14 Now is live, local, and online.
Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live. Don't forget, send us your emails, send us your tweets, and call in the show directly, 905-645-3232. Or email askbob@cable14.com. Or Twitter at Just Ask Bob. We want your questions. We have a question up on screen now. Hello, Bob. We're having troubles finding a licensed contractor to build us a roof structure with pillars over our backyard. A few contractors bidding on our job are from outside of town, and they say they don't need the Hamilton Master Building Repair license because they don't live here. Is this true? Ann and John from Hamilton. Well, Ann and John, thank you very much for the email. What they're feeding you is not true. Not true at all. See, unfortunately, this becomes political, so to speak. Let me try to explain this in the briefest, most concise manner. I believe, and I've been complaining about this for years, the province at the provincial level of government, they disrespect all us general contractors, tradespeople, /handymen, whatever you want to call us, because they do not offer a one-shot provincial license. There are exceptions. If you're an electrician or you work with gas, your license is province-wide. My electrician can work in any city in Hamilton. He's licensed. Now, with, again, handy people, do-it-yourselfers, general contractors, tradespeople on their own, the licensing, the ticket is not provincial. Hamilton does a phenomenal job. Hamilton licenses their contractors, and they do that in such a way that they're vetted, they're screened. It's a 2-hour examination on the Ontario Building Code. Equally important, they check for a police clearance. So that's critical to you, the homeowner. Now other cities do not. Burlington, right next door to us, Burlington stopped their licensing program in, I believe it was 2002, due to budget cuts. Oakville doesn't have it. Toronto has it. They call it the renovator's license. The city of Brantford has it. However, you know, in all honesty, it's a little bit of a joke. In the city of Brantford, you hand money over, you're licensed. There's no exam. There's no trade exam. There's no written examination. There's no questions. So, I mean, be that as it may, at least they're still trying to make an effort. Now, the problem with Hamilton, with outside contractors, is they come to Hamilton, they want your money, but they're not licensed. So that's going to cause you issues. Contractor must be licensed. So you can tell that contractor that he can apply at City Hall, he can write the exam, and then he can have a ticket to work in the city of Hamilton. That's very, very important. It's all about knowledge. It's all about demystifying the situation. And let me put this number out for a moment. We talk about this many times. 905-546-2424. So it's twofold. You're going to ask for building department if you need help, if you need questions. For example, propose to them you're planning on gutting a bathroom. Do I need a permit? Then via that same phone number, you're going to ask for licensing. Ask if you need a licensed contractor. Give them the name of whoever submitted a quote to you and ask them if he or she is indeed, in fact, licensed. Very, very important. When you're empowered with knowledge as a homeowner, you're going to have a renovation that's going to go as planned. When you're not empowered with information, you might have trouble. Likely you will have trouble. We have another email here. Hey, Bob, how do I change my bathroom faucet? Currently, there are no water shutoff valves underneath the cabinet. And Bob, what brand is easiest to install? This is Adam from Hamilton, Ontario. Well, Adam, there's no shutoffs currently, so that sort of can fall into an Ontario Building Code issue. And I've talked about this for years. The Ontario Minimum Building Code. A lot of people refer to it as the Ontario Building Code, but in fact, it's actually called the Ontario Minimum Building Code, and that's for a reason. Builders will tell you, or they will profess to the government, that they need a minimum set of standards in order to create affordable housing. And I don't know about you, but the last time I looked at homes in Hamilton, affordable does not come to mind. So the problem lies now with the building code. Bathrooms, the faucets do not require shut-off valves. It's not a big expense, but again, it helps the builder save, a few so-called nickels so they can become rich quickly. Toilets, by code, have to have a shut-off valve. In the kitchen, you have to have shut-off valves for the faucet because obviously you've got branches leading to possibly a carburetor, disposal, and also the dishwasher. So in your case, Adam, you don't have shut-off valves, so you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. And I do strongly recommend you install shut-off valves. You'll have to shut the water in the basement. Now, if you have a laundry tub in the basement, turn it on because this is going to bleed the water from the lowest point in the home. Then when you get to that vanity, wherever that bathroom is, you've now bled the water, you've turned it off, it's bled itself out. You're going to, what depends what you have. If you didn't mention in the email, you'll either have PEX or you'll have copper. At that point, you need to install shut-off valves. Now, I would strongly recommend ball valve shut-off valves, which are a quarter turn. They're nice, as opposed to gate valves, which you got to keep turning and turning and turning, either clockwise or counterclockwise. You'll install your shut-off valves. Now, I believe you may have mentioned what model or what brand is the easiest to install. Even if you didn't, I'll offer you the information. It's a Moen. Moen faucets are not incredibly expensive. They're not cheap either, but they're a very easy, DIY-friendly faucet to install. Hope that helps, Adam. We're going to move on to another email now. Good day, Bob. I am a single mom and worry very much about having contractors in my home. I did hire a licensed Hamilton contractor, and he did show me his license, and I checked with the city that he did, in fact, pass a police clearance. I never knew this license existed until watching your Cable 14 show. Thank you so much for this. Keep up the great work. Mary from Dundas. Thank you, Mary, and believe me when I say I mean that. When I hold up my license here, this is just a card. This is the one I keep as a backup. Nearly 20 years when I decided to become a contractor, I thought to myself, let me do some research. Now, I don't know how other people that want to start a business, whether it's a restaurant or a retail store, I don't know if they leap into it or if they research. Bob likes his research. I realized the license is a requirement, and I learned many years later from then obtaining research from homeowners that not only is it a requirement, but 85% of Hamilton contractors are unlicensed. So you're rolling the dice now. I don't care who you call to your home. Somebody to inject the foundation, somebody to fix your roof, kitchen, basement, or bathroom, doesn't matter. Out of 100 you call to the home, 85 are unlicensed, 15% are. So I would punch a hole ring through it, hang it around my neck, and show it immediately upon entering everybody's home. I'm proud of it. It's a 2-hour examination, comes with the police clearance. So for those of you at home, you have to think of it this way. A good contractor may be in your home from before you leave for work, and he may in some cases or in some days when he can handle it, still be working in your home by the time you come back from work. You have valuables, you may have children, the police clearance is a must. Oh, hello, thank you for calling.
Hi, this is Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
I was just calling regarding roofing.
Yes, and your question, please?
What parts and components make for a good roofing job?
Excellent question. Thank you, Amanda, for calling. Like we spoke a few minutes ago, big problem is the Ontario Building Code. I mean, Amanda, I can go on with this forever, but I won't. But just again to explain, the government is mandated to set the bar at a minimum. Again, to keep roofing or to keep homes affordable. But the problem in Hamilton is, and I don't want to pick on too many roofers here, but see, these roofers have a window of 5 to 6 or 7 months to do their work, and then that's it. They're off the rest of the year. So unfortunately, in many cases, it's a matter of the lowest price. So it is very important for you to be educated, Amanda. Basically, before you call your roofer in, write yourself a to-do list of what you want on your roof. So then when you call in the people for the quotes, you're going to tell them you want an architectural shingle, you want a heavy weight. You're going to tell them that you want a band of ice and water shield above the troughs every side of the roof. You're going to tell them you want metal drip edge on every single perimeter edge of the roof, including up the gables. Then you're going to tell them that you want deck armor, ask for it by name, deck armor underlayment over your entire roof. Then they can finally put the shingles on. When you ask for these proper components, and please don't take my word for it, the internet, a volume of information. Research it yourself. Now, you call in roofer A, he's quoting a roof based on those items. Call in roofer B and C and D, depending on your patience. All of them are quoting on the same items. So now you're comparing apples to apples. And again, as long as every roofer is legitimately licensed, you're going to be safe, you're going to be fine. Hello, Elizabeth?
Hi, Bob. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling.
I've learned so much from you, and I just wanted to ask you a question. Now, my mother's kitchen is very old, and her cupboards are very old, and I wanted to stain them, something like that'll make them pop out again. Do you know any product that would be good for that?
Well, yes. What are the cabinets made out of? I hope it's wood, real wood?
Yes.
Okay. And the finish is old on it?
Very.
Okay.
I would say about 30 years old.
Okay. Now, is this DIY, you and the family?
Pardon?
Is this a DIY project? Will you and your family be doing this?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. That gets me excited. I like when you're doing it yourself. First of all, for the products, I would highly recommend Sherwin-Williams products. I've used them myself at home, and I've used them on my job sites. Now, it's going to take a lot of effort and elbow grease. You know, you're going to have to remove all the cabinet doors. You have to sand off the existing finish, repair or putty any types of surface imperfections, and then you're going to essentially choose a stain, follow the manufacturer's information. You want to apply the stain properly. Once the stain is cured, you're going to finish up with 2 or 3 coats of polyurethane. That's basically what's going to protect the stain, and your choice of a sheen level, anything from satin to semi-gloss to full gloss. Stay tuned. We're going to be taking a quick break. Remember, we're ready for your calls, tweets, and emails. We'll be back soon.
Hi, I'm Laura Babcock, host of The O Show here on Cable 14. And during this pandemic, while we're all staying home, staying safe, and practicing social distancing, we're still going to talk to the Hamiltonians who are making news. We'll keep having those same great discussions on important topics that matter to you. The only difference is the platform that we're shooting it on. So please stay tuned, stay engaged.
It's just another $1,000. This investment's a sure thing. You're so sweet. I'll return your bank card next time I see you. Sign the check or find someone else to look after you.
No one should ever pressure or trick you into giving money. Learn the signs of financial abuse of seniors. Visit seniors.gc.ca. A message from the Government of Canada.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live, where we welcome your phone calls. 905-645-3232. Again, that's 905-645-3232. We're going to kick it off with another email. Bob, I've watched your show over the years and see how you always call for underlayment like deck armor, under-roofing shingles, ice and water shield, and drip edge to ensure a good roofing job. I've just obtained 4 roofing quotes, and none of them include those items. When I ask the roofer why, they tell me it is not needed and that it is overkill. Bob, I believe you, and I've researched it myself. But why are these roofers not offering these smart upgrade components? Ted from Ancaster. Ted, thank you for agreeing with me. You know, really, this is an interesting situation, and I'm not going to yak about building code anymore, but let me flip it around to explain to you how a roof works. We have quite a few flat roof malls in Hamilton. So if you picture for a moment Lime Ridge Mall, that's a torched-on membrane. That's a very, very different beast than your home. That's flat. Water sits on it. Residential homes, you have a pitch. So let me explain it this way. Think of it as a series of umbrellas. No shingled roof is waterproof. That doesn't exist. It's a series of umbrellas. As the water sheds, it leaves. However, wind-driven rain will get up and under the shingle, and when you don't have underlayment, it will get in your attic, it will get in your house. Freezing and backup at the eaves troughs will push the ice upwards. When you don't have ice and water shield membrane, you will leak at the eaves, you'll leak at the edge. So now, why roofers are calling this overkill? Again, it's a very difficult business. I don't believe roofers that are actually licensed would use those words. I believe you've been dealing with some unlicensed roofers potentially. Again, these are troubled economic times. They want to submit the lowest quote not necessarily a quote with the best components. So I'm very, very happy that you've researched it yourself. That is a must. Again, as I've always explained, research is key. I've seen contract estimates that simply say re-roof, dispose of, 25-year shingle. You as a homeowner would be brain dead to sign a contract like that. And I've seen many of them. You need specifics. What are they charging you per sheet of plywood if there's holes and damage? What is the warranty, the specifics on it? What components and underlayment are they using? So please always be careful, and research is the key. We're moving on with another viewer's email. Hello, Bob. What is a good depth for a footing that will support a pillar and a roof structure over the backyard? And what do you think of the Bigfoot footing system? Andrew from Hamilton. Thank you, Andrew. Very much appreciated. I have a lot of respect for the Bigfoot systems. On a job many years ago, my engineer designed the drawings, the plans to include the Bigfoot. Now, again, be honest, I was a little nervous because this is a new product, at least for myself. And what's the saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Just Ask Bob's learning a new trick every single day. Believe me when I say this. I get up every morning. I learn something new before I go to bed at night. That's my success to business and the personal life. So you have to be able to accept change in the construction industry because it changes quickly. Different materials, different products. Now, about the footing depth, generally speaking, the architect or designer or engineer will include that information. But just to give you an idea, 4 feet doesn't cut it anymore. A couple years ago, I believe it was 2015, frost went down nearly 5 feet. So nothing less than 5 feet to bore the depth there for those pillars or the Bigfoot. But again, that job requires a permit. So let's assume it's a DIY project. You, the homeowner, are making the permit drawings, submitting them to the city, put it down for 5 feet. City planning examiner will review the drawings, and depending on the structure or what you're building, they'll make an amendment if they want you to dig deeper. And as far as the Bigfoot, no problems with that. I highly recommend it. I'm going to take another question now. Hello, Bob. Can my new bathroom fan be installed inside my shower? Edward from Dundas, Ontario. Now, Bob here is not a licensed master electrician or electrical contractor, but I can tell you from my experience on my electrical job sites, yes, you can, but that has to be tied to, I believe, GFCI breaker, ground fault circuit interrupter, something to that effect. Again, don't mind me. I've been working in the sun, not in the early morning, but all afternoon. But again, for a project like that, please feel free. Follow up with me also at the office, or I should say for a question like that. At the end of the show, Bob's contact information will be on screen. But from the top of my head right now, yes, you can. But what's really important is it has to be a GFCI breaker because that's what protects you in the wet area. Another way to explain it is within 4 or 5 feet of a kitchen sink or the bathroom vanity sink, because there's a water source, the receptacles are GFI protected, meaning you see the receptacle that's got the green light. So in the case of a shower, you're not having a receptacle, so to protect the circuit, they make a GFCI breaker, which will instantaneously cut off the power in the case there's a problem with moisture. But again, follow up, and that's a situation where you need a licensed master electrician, or if you want to do it yourself, you have to apply for a permit to the ESA. And you are allowed as a homeowner to tackle your own wiring, but only with a permit. Oh, another bathroom question coming in. Good day, Bob. I'm having a bathroom remodeled, and I want ball valve shutoffs installed for my shower faucet. My contractor says he is not installing them because he has nowhere to put them. He is installing them for the toilet and the vanity. We are arguing about this every day. Bob, please help. Okay, I've got to think about this for a moment, but I think I understand what's going on. For those of you at home, the viewers, especially older Hamilton, it seems like they had more design sense back in the day Typically in old century-old homes in Hamilton, or even more modern than that, where the bathroom was located, there was always a bedroom behind it, and the closet was directly behind the bathtub or shower. So what would happen is, because the closet's there, it creates an access point. So inside the closet, there would be a dummy panel. You open up the dummy panel, and then you can actually see the hot and cold copper supply for the faucet. So in that case, the water shutoffs would be there, so you always have them. Because I always explain to homeowners, new doesn't always mean better. You could have had a faucet working for decades. Contractor comes in, buys the best Moen, puts it in, it can fail. Things happen. Now, there are many homes that are not designed that way. So for example, let's talk about a second-story situation. The back of where the shower is might be the hallway wall or a bedroom wall. So there are cases where there is nowhere to have access to put in the shutoffs. Now you could put them somewhere further away, but that doesn't really help. You want them as close as you can. So, rediscuss this with your contractor. He may, in this case, be correct. There are some cases where, you can be creative. Okay, let me just think for a moment. Let's say it's a second-story home, and there's a hallway, long hallway. But directly behind that hallway would be the body for the Moen faucet. Cut open the drywall, small area, 6-inch by 6-inch in the hallway, install the 2 shutoffs, and then hang a picture over it. So you're being creative. There are creative ways to hide the access panel for the shutoffs. If you need more information, again, follow up with my contact information at the end of the show. We're taking a quick break. Stay tuned.
Unique times call for unique conversations. As Hamilton moves forward, we'll be taking a look at how local business, entrepreneurs, and various industries rebound from COVID-19. So in collaboration with the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, Cable 14 will be bringing the conversations to you. Tune in to Cable 14 and Cable14now.com as we bring you this new series, Roadmap to Recovery. Truly local television.
1, 2. Good rhythm back and forth. Hey Taylor, I think you might need this.
Thanks.
Centers rebound. Scores! Taylor Hall!
You can visit our website at cable14.com. Like us on Facebook at Cable14 Hamilton, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cable14. Missed an episode? Don't worry. You can visit past episodes of your favorite Cable 14 programs on demand at cable14now.com. Programs like Hamilton Eats, City Matters, or local sports coverage. Visit today and browse through all the available titles. Cable 14 Now is live, local, and online.
Welcome to Just Ask Bob Live. Make sure next week, don't miss it. We're tearing down a chimney in Hamilton, and we have the entire footage to kick off the show. Homeowners have installed a high-efficiency furnace. There's no need for this chimney. Best thing, if you don't need it, rid yourself of it. It's quite a process. We're going to try to show you every single step, right from taking it to the dump and closing in the roof. Not many tools required. You'll need a hammer, a couple of taps on the brick, and they're out. Now we got quite a lot to take out. We're going to try to pick up the pace. We have another question arriving in by email. Hello, Bob. Next to my house is a rental property with an out-of-town landlord. These people next door have been raising the grade next to my fence to the point where rainwater is flooding my yard, and the fence is now leaning. Bob, no one will help me. I cannot get any help from the city. The tenant will not give me the landlord's contact information, and I definitely do not have money for any lawyers. Bob, please help. Kevin from Hamilton. Kevin, what can I say? I feel bad for you. I understand what you're going through. I've discussed these types of situations many, many times. Let me give you a few tips based on my experience. I have all this gray for a reason. This is a difficult process, but let me give you a comparison in life. They say at times you're going to have to show your teeth. So you're going to have to get tough. You are also going to have to, another analogy, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So literally, you're going to have to raise some hell. Bother the city, call them again and again. I also strongly recommend you reach out to your counselor, your city counselor, whoever he or she may be. They needed your vote at some point, and they will need your vote again. Reach out to city council, reach out to city bylaw. There is an avenue for you to get the contact information of the landlord. So keep pushing, my friend, keep pushing. Quick note now, and before I forget, again, it's really important. We had thank yous at the beginning of the show, and we forgot some truly important ones. As they say, leave the best for last. I have a lovely wife out there, Rosemary, and two intelligent, brilliant, and beautiful boys, Peter and Nick. So a great thank you to my lovely wife and my boys, Peter and Nick, because they've put up with a lot for these Just Ask Bob productions. When Bob's under stress, Bob stresses, believe me. So a very, very special thanks to my family. Don't forget, email the show. Email at askbob@cable14.com. Tweet us at Just Ask Bob, and also the phone number. Very important, send us all your email questions. Whether there's time on the show or not, I will always answer your questions for you. Now, to contact me, largest database on the net, www.justaskbob.com. Again, that's www.justaskbob.com. You can watch, you can learn. It's a teaching site. We have over 50 shows from our past Cable 14 episodes. Until next week, and don't miss it, set your PVR next Tuesday live if you can't watch it. Thank you, Hamilton.